single-story house far from the city. At night, the kitchen lights is always on, easy to see from outside. One night, around 11 p.m., I was making tea in the kitchen. I looked out the window, nothing but darkness. But I felt something, like someone was watching me. I brushed it off. You're overthinking, I told myself. The next night, same time, same place, same feeling, like someone was out there. But instead of looking for them, I installed a motion sensor light in the yard. Even the slightest movement would turn it on. That night, it never lit up, like someone was standing still, completely still. On the third night, something happened. I was pouring tea. I turned toward the window. Something white flashed for a second. When my eyes adjusted, it was a face staring at me through the glass. I screamed, fell back. When I looked again, it was gone. I ran to the door, opened it, no one in the yard. But right under the kitchen window, footprints, bare feet. I called the police. They came, looked around. No signs of entry, no real evidence. Get a security camera, they said. Call us again if it happens. I bought one the next day, set it up. That night, everything felt calm. But the same sensation returned. Someone breathing on the other side of the glass. Next morning, I checked the footage. At 11:02 p.m., a figure appeared, stood still, didn't move. He was holding something, a photograph. I zoomed in. It was my kitchen from the inside, and I was in it, pouring tea. He had taken the photo before, from inside the house. I showed the police the footage, but the video was gone, deleted. As for the photo, the next night, I found an envelope in my mailbox. No name, no stamp, just a plain envelope. Inside, one picture. Me asleep in my bed. The building I moved into was old, built sometime in the 1940s. High ceilings, long hallways, cracky wooden stairs. There were 6 apartments. I moved into number 5. The landlord told me the attic is locked. You use it for storage, but no one's been up there in years. I didn't think much of it. The first few nights were quiet, but on the 4th night, at exactly 1:12 a.m., I heard something from above, like something crawling across the ceiling. I figured it was just a rat, or maybe a cat. The next day, I ran into my upstairs neighbor. You heard it too, didn't you? She said. Heard what? The noises from the attic. It sounds like someone walking up there. Slow steps. That gave me chills. I texted the landlord. Is someone using the attic? He replied, no. That door has been locked for years. I'm the only one with the key. But that night, the sounds returned. Not just crawling. I heard a drawer sliding open. Then, the scraping of a chair being pulled across the floor. I couldn't take it anymore. I put up my shoes, grabbed my flashlights, and went upstairs. The attic door was rusted, but it was slightly open. I pushed it. The hinges cracked loudly. Inside, complete darkness. But the air was warm, too warm, like someone had been inside, living there. There was a small wooden table, an old oil lamp, and on the floor, a notebook. I picked it up. The pages were filled with one sentence, written over and over. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. Right then, the door behind me slammed shut. The lights went out. I spun around with the flashlight. Something was standing by the door. A figure, human-shaped, but tall, unnaturally still. It didn't speak, didn't move. It just stood there, like it had been waiting for me to come up. Then I heard a whisper. Not from the figure, but from inside my own head. You came. Now, you can't leave. I ran. I threw myself against the door. It wouldn't open. Then suddenly, it swung wide open. The hallway was empty. No figure, no sound. I rushed back to my apartment and locked the door. The next morning, I went straight to the landlord. Someone's in the attic, I said. He stared at me for a long time. Then he finally said, I gave you the apartment so cheap for a reason. Everyone who lives there eventually goes up. I never met the owner in person. I booked the house through an app. I just wanted a quiet weekend. A small, one-story house on the edge of a forest in a sleepy little town. The key was under a stone by the front door. The moment I walked in, the first thing I noticed was the silence and a strange smell, like bleach mixed with damp. The first night went fine, just the cracking of trees outside. But the next day, I opened the bathroom cabinet and saw something strange. A spare key. It had a small label on it. It says back. I hadn't used the back door at all. Curious, I tried it. It was locked. I slid on the key. It turned. The door cracked open, but I didn't step out. For some reason, I felt like someone was already inside. I quickly shut the door and put the key back, chuckled nervously to myself, "You're imaging things." But that night, 2:42 a.m., I heard something, a soft metallic click, like a key turning in a lock. I sat up in bed. Was someone inside? I grabbed my flashlight and checked the kitchen, then the hallway. Nothing. But the bathroom door was open, and the spare key was gone. I froze. I stepped closer, peered in. Empty. Then I checked the back door. It was wide open. I shone my light out into the yard. Something moved. A shape, human-sized, but no face I could see. I aimed the light again. Gone. I ran back in, reached for my jacket. My house key was missing. I checked the table, the floor, the bathroom, nowhere. Panicked. I grabbed my phone and messaged the owner. I think someone entered the house. The spare key is missing. I'm calling the police. A minute later, they replied. What spare key? The one in the bathroom, it says back on it, I typed. Then came the final message. There is no spare key in that house. A couple rented it last month. They never used the back door. They returned only one key. As I read the message, my hands start shaking. The house was that silent, but I knew I was not alone. Then I noticed something in the bathroom mirror, a reflection behind me. I turned slowly, nothing. But on the sink was a phone, my phone. The screen was lit, the camera app was open, a video had been recorded. I tapped play. In the video, I was asleep. The camera moved closer to my face. Then, as the screen faded to black, a whisper. The second key isn't yours anymore.